Good morning, afternoon, evening, and good dawn, guys. This is your boy Cypherx, and today we are putting on our Ren Fair costumes in preparation for an awesome game that's very near and dear to me, and that's going to be Granado Espada. Granado Espada was a MMO made back in the late 2000s when I was like second year college, and it was really unique because it was, one, the birth of auto questing, or like just auto attacking in general, but it wasn't in a boring way. It was more of a RTS meets MMO. In Granado Espada, you control 3 characters at any given time. Now with these 3 characters, you go into all of the same depth of character creation that you would go into a lot of games. There are skills, there are traits, there are different types of weapons you can equip them with. Those weapons will all give you different stances that you can also flesh out. There's a lot to it, but you're managing a team of 3 characters at any given time, which leads to a lot of interesting character combinations. You can have 2 brawler types and a healer. You can have 3 tanks that just happen to maybe have a little bit of support on the side. You can have 3 battle medics that are all really good with knives and just look after each other. There are all types of different ways to customize your team, and that's in addition to the slew of characters that you end up recruiting from the game's storyline. You'll go around just like in a Final Fantasy or any other JRPG, solving problems and solving stories and picking up 1 or 2 characters from that storyline that just happens to agree with what you're doing and want to join along for the adventure. And don't think it's going to be like, oh, okay, I get a great sword character, or oh, I get a sword character. Like, some of these characters are wild. One of the best characters that took an obscene amount of farming and grinding, but was totally worth it, was this marionette character who would control about 10 characters at a time. Many people would get copies of this character, so they'd be walking around with just an armada of like 30 little characters that they're controlling as one unit, which is just obscene to me. It's like some kind of hive mind mentality. Gameplay wise, I remember gameplay being fun and fast back in the day. Bear in mind, I was very new and very rough with RTS style games, so controlling a bunch of different units was very different for me. And that was one of the things I tripped up in the initial day or 2 I was playing the game. It's really easy to pick up though the commands to say go into defensive, offensive, get your healer to heal this guy. That it comes to you really quickly, and anyone who is familiar with games like StarCraft, for example, will pick this up in no time. Also on that note, when I say RTS, do not imagine slow, tedious, I have to think everything out type of gameplay. This game can go very fast paced. Again, it's like controlling 3 MMO characters in a normal MMO. There's stuff to dodge, there's gonna be stuff to run away from, there's gonna be stuff to capitalize on, and there's even PvP. So you gotta make sure that you're on the money with how your character is even set up, what your characters have equipped, and your whole team balance. You can have your own golden trifecta and not have to worry about finding other parties, yes, but just how well does your golden trifecta work against someone else's golden trifecta? How is their tank against your tank? How is their DPS versus your DPS? There's a lot to consider in this game, and that was why I really liked it back in the day. And I was really sad to kind of see, well, not see it go, but to see it get kind of overwhelmed by other games while it kind of just stayed and did its own thing. Like, this game is very overdue for a graphical leap, and I'm hoping that's what they do with this mobile port. The very last thing I love about this game, and I mean honestly it should be like my top reason, is the soundtrack. And it was made by a group called Soundtemp that is super familiar for anyone who played Ragnarok back in the day. They came over to Granado Espada and they decided to do the entire soundtrack for them too, and it's fantastic. It's this nice mix of like techno, orchestral, it has some rhythm, has some beat to it. I obviously can't have it in this video for copyright reasons. I would love to, but I will put a link down in the bottom for anyone who wants to listen to the OST. I hope you guys like it just as much as I did. Now everything wrapped up and put a little bow on it, I'm really excited that they're bringing this game back for the 2020s. I really enjoyed it back in the day. Could I have studied harder in college instead of playing this game? Yes, multiple nights, of course. And that's just how addicting this game is. Again, I'm not an RTS guy and I absolutely loved it. I'm very much used to action games and, single character MMOs. But if I could say any one thing about this game that's unique, it's like all of the wonder of gacha games that people seem to love and be addicted to, but with the active controls of an MMO. This is also a little bit like Dragalia Lost for those who are familiar with it, where you have all the different characters and you can swap in and out. But imagine having pinpoint control over what characters are doing to you while you're still controlling another character. You can have all that kind of control for really strategic moves and plays. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I'll be keeping a personal eye on this because this game is very near and dear to me. I stayed up multiple nights just playing this with friends, and I'm really excited to see it come back to the 2020s. If you guys are interested in it, be sure to like, subscribe, show it to a friend. I'll be sure to keep you guys in the loop of more action RPGs, MMOs, and other things on mobile, console, and PC. Y'all take care. Love, peace, and elevate your hunts. Lades.